All right, coming into frame. Hi, so it's me again, and I want to thank you for watching. I hope you're watching, actually, I'm not sure, but remember at the end of the day I did say that this is not so much about people watching, but about me sending out a message to those and sharing my message to whomever wishes to watch. The last video basically spoke about what is happening in the world today, and in the 2 weeks since that I've stopped recording, and it just, as I said, goes to show that no matter what happens, the world will go on without you. You're not that important. No one is indispensable. And I understand that in the world today that is so focused on trending and what is happening in the world, if you switched off your Facebook tomorrow, if you switched off Twitter and Instagram and all of that, the only thing that you're doing is to show how strong you really are, to be able to disengage from the world that is constantly trying to keep you hooked in. And it is quite frightening, and I mean, I speak that personally as someone who is myself hooked in to all of this technology. One of the most frightening things that I can remember, and this was about 5 years ago, when Skype was just coming out and just at its peak. Now you have a whole lot of other, voice over network kind of calling. But Skype at the time was at its peak, and I was about to log on to call my family. And in the right, I think it's the right or the left-hand corner, it said that there was about 29 million kind of people online at the same time. And that scared the I couldn't say bejesus, but that scared me to no end, to realize that at that time that I was online with my fingers hovering over the keyboard, there was also 29 million other people doing exactly the same thing, hooked into the internet. And it took me to we know that no one controls the internet. However, there are people in China or people in some of the Islamic countries and even in the United States that are trying to monitor the internet, that are trying to control it, switch it off and block certain sites to others and whatever. And I think in today's world where children are at risk with his pornography or child pornography or bestiality or any kind of immoral act or distasteful, really, there should be some kind of rule as to what you can or cannot see. But I think, or possibly post, for as an adult, if I want to see that, I should be allowed the right to go and look, but you shouldn't have the right to stop me. But that's a subject for another time. And just going on about thinking that 29 million people is doing exactly the same thing that I'm doing, and if you can look at it in the terms of an organogram, if you will, and try and follow those 29 people and think so who's in charge? Who's pulling the strings and who's controlling the internet? And if we are locked in right now, it sort of gave me an idea of sort of the Matrix kind of thing. All of us are locked in. I mean, Facebook right now has almost 1 billion users. I know last time I read, which wasn't too long ago, was 850 million people. That's the entire continent of Africa, and more. Using Facebook at the time, and now no longer are we just connected to our, our PC at home, which used to be, that's where we did our business. Now we do our business online on our smartphones as well, and I don't really know how smart we are. If we hooked in all the time, we're pretty stupid because we don't have any time for ourselves. And that's what I've been trying lately. I've been trying to wean myself off being so connected to everything, because it steals away from my time really to enjoy all of these books that I have. And it's been a while. I mean, if I were to grab just, there we are. I mean, The Long Walk to Freedom, Nelson Mandela's book. I haven't read it since it was released, and in fact it's now just a 3 days short of his 20th, 1990, it's now 2015, 25 years ago since he was released from prison. And this book, it was when I last read it, so it's time to read again, but I find myself, it's so difficult to switch off, because in the end you've got the music playing either or the television in the background, you're constantly looking at your phone. So I've got all of these books that I would love to read through. Some of, oh, there we go, here you go. This is a selection of short stories, of South African short stories. I've got a great selection of books, but I can't seem to get to them lately. So what I've done is I've got to strike a bargain with myself. I'm going to try to one day on, one day off, or perhaps 2 days on and 2 days off, where I'm going to do my normal thing as be connected to all these electronic devices and social medias, but then give me 1 day to just completely switch off. So for now, I'm hooked in and hooked on line. Hopefully in 2 days' time, I'll check back in with you to see how this was received, and we'll do another recording. But for now, all I ask is that you keep watching, and I'll see you on the other side.